Cristiano rang me. I didn't ring him. Is that your view?
If it didn't look like he was going to City, I don't think they would have signed him.
That's why you're not a pundit. He was a top goal scorer in Serie A last season.
Rio Ferdinand, thanks for joining us. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, very well, thanks. You must be buzzing with the return of Cristiano Ronaldo. We've got to start there. Tell me about that day when he rejoined Manchester United. It looked like he was joining City, but a tweet of yours sent everybody into a frenzy. How much did you know at that point?
I think my smile on that tweet let everybody know that I was kind of in the know of what was going on. Yeah, obviously, I'd spoken to him that night, so the night before, so I had an understanding of the situation. I think it's crazy because it's probably one of the most retweeted or most engaged with messages I've ever put out on social media, and I hadn't said one word on it. So it was quite weird, really.
Yeah, it stopped everybody in their tracks, but obviously everybody thought he was heading to City.
I was actually out in London that day as well after I put that tweet out, and it was just like crazy people coming up to me, so you just get to realise the enormity of like what that transfer means. It's crazy.
There seemed to be, I mean, you said you spoke to him on the phone. There's reports of other conversations. You know, Patrice Evra, I think, posted something similar about a conversation he had with Ronaldo. Apparently, Sir Alex Ferguson had a role. How much of this charm offensive was kind of orchestrated, or was it all just off the cuff? We can't let him go to City.
No, well Cristiano rang me. I didn't ring him. We spoke and stuff, and there was a bit of back and forth and other conversations with other people at the club and stuff, but. Listen, I think anybody connected with Man United, the thought of him putting on a Man City shirt was like enough to make you want to run and jump off a cliff. It was crazy. So people were thinking, can you speak to him? Can people get hold of him? And I think it's just a case of all the fans would have been the same. No one wanted to see him go. If he came back to the Premier League, why is he going to go anywhere else but Man United? And I think that was the feeling of everybody who supports Man United, but also everyone in the club. And
you say he rang you. That might come as a surprise to people who, you know, assumed that you guys were all trying to convince him not to go to City. What was, like, how much can you tell us about that conversation? What was his feeling at that time when it looked like he was going to go to City? Was he asking if there was, you know, was he asking about his legacy?
Listen, like I said on the day when I've spoken to him, and I said on my YouTube channel on 5 that, like, listen, there's certain conversations that remain private between friends. In certain situations, and this is kind of one of them, the details. If he wants to speak about him, it's down to him. That's not something for me to kind of divulge and give out, because it is quite a delicate situation. But he knew in no uncertain terms how I felt about him going to Man City, or the idea of him going to Man City. Whether it was on the cards or whether it could have really happened, we'll never know now, will we? So,
well, how much would it have affected his legacy as a United legend had he gone to City? Do you think fans would have been understanding, as painful as it would have been? I
think that's one of the... Ronnie's not like... He's not an idiot. He's an intelligent guy. Do you know what I mean? You don't do what he's done in his career without having some form of intelligence, and he understood that immediately. I think just our conversations, the idea of his legacy was definitely part of the conversation. And he respects the club. He respects what happened. He respects the role that Man United has played in his career. And I think that's reflected in actually where he ended up.
Now, obviously, United didn't really enter the picture into this picture, signing Ronaldo, until it looked like he was on the verge of joining City. So how fair would it be to say that United have signed him more out of pride than a rational investment in the squad? Do you know what I mean? Like, they just couldn't let him go there, so they had to sign him.
Is that your view?
That's kind of how it comes across to me. Like, I don't think if it didn't look like he was going to City, I don't think they would have signed him. What do you reckon?
That's why you're not a pundit. Yeah. But like, people are saying this type of madness, yeah. But this guy, he was a top goal scorer in Serie A last season. So,
I'm not saying
if Man United are buying the top goal scorer in Serie A, it can't be like, oh, we're only going to buy him because someone else has bought him. It makes sense. He's going to get you goals. Not only that, he's going to bring you a whole new raft of supporters, another underbelly of new supporters. Social media following's gone through the roof. The share price went through the roof immediately, broke records of shirt sales. So financially, even when you forget about on the field, financially it made sense. But the overriding factor is, as a football player, is he still good enough? It's not in question. And on top of that, what this can potentially do for the young players in this squad who have not won yet, who don't know how to win consistently, haven't won the Premier League, haven't won the big titles, what this can do for them is, like Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford, just them alone, it's a great investment for Man United just for them two. Because if they learn anything of him and they become better players, better professionals, it ups their levels again, that means that they actually might end up saving Man United money in the long run. They don't have to then go out and buy maybe a Haaland if Greenwood learns off someone like Cavani and Ronaldo now and all of a sudden becomes an absolute monster, which he seems to be on his way to doing anyway.
So commercially, it's going to be huge. You're saying he's still got it on the pitch. He's obviously going to score a lot of goals.
Yeah.
With the additions of Sancho and Varane as well, they've seemed to have filled basically every gap that they were looking to fill in their team. Ronaldo's won the Champions League, what, 5 times, is it now?
So,
6,
yeah.
maybe? 5. Surely Ole's got to win a trophy this season now. Potentially the Champions League, because the Premier League's going to be so competitive. Maybe the cup run in the Champions League is their best chance.
He's got to win a league. He has got to win a title, sorry. He's got to win some form of competition, because to have the type of window that we've had at Man United this year, it's a beautiful window in terms of bringing winning mentality, genuine leaders, winners, who understand how to go season through season, grueling seasons and win things. So when you've added that and genuine world-class talent, this is Ole's squad now. This isn't always a bit of a hangover from previous managers. This is Ole's squad, and that brings pressure, but Ole will know that.
And lastly, with the addition of Ronaldo, there's a lot of competition for those attacking spaces now. When everyone's fit, when Rashford's back from his surgery and he's recovered, what's your front four at United? How should they line up?
I don't really look at it like that. I just think you play the players who you think are ready for that game, who are right for that game. You could be playing Leicester one week and a certain forfeit. You can play Man City the week after and a different forfeit. And I think that's the beauty of having a great squad. That's what it's been like down the years when we won stuff at United. It wasn't always just, oh, we've got to play that same team every week. It was horses for courses. And I think that's the knack in winning trophies and multiple trophies.
OK, brilliant. Rio, thanks so much for your time.